Yeah. We show up after the clock, coffee gone, boards unlocked. You move your night, I move my mind. Late to chess, but right on time. Tell me what you saw before the queen fell hard. Every bad idea turns into a spark. Late to chess, we make a mess, then we make sense. Late to chess, one more game, one more defense. Late to chess.
Welcome back to the Late to Chess podcast. I'm sorry to report to everyone listening that the doctor is not in the house, but we do have a guest to dilute me, so you don't have to listen to just me. Returning podcast guest, I think the first returning podcast guest we've ever had. Claude Fried, welcome back.
Nice, hey, yeah, very cool. It feels like I'm replacing the doctor, though. I don't want that to be,
Oh,
the
you're
vibe around
trust
here.
me. He's on sabbatical right now, and he's podcast host emeritus, and he's gonna shoot me in the head when I say all these things because I drive him crazy when he says that.
Perfect.
So, but I'm on a break. No.
Yeah.
So we decided, since you're here, we were going to get together for a tournament that I was supposed to go to, which I never ended up going to because, work gets in the way of all the fun things. I did get to pay for the flight, so that was great.
Ugh.
We decided we were going to have a dumb sandwich, which means I get to ask dumb questions and then real chess questions and then dumb questions again, which is my favorite kind of sandwich. So,
Yeah,
you ready?
I am so ready. It sounds like a regular conversation to me. So
Absolutely. Well, except that my regular conversations end up being dumb the entire time. So we're over advertising in the middle of this. So what song do you have playing in your internal player when you walk into a chess tournament?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I try my hardest not to have a song.
No songs?
I
You're thinking about
try.
chess? What the hell?
I try so hard because a song just gets me distracted because I'll be into it and I'll be thinking about it. So usually there's no one answer. Usually it's going to be like whatever I last listened to. So I'll say like the night before a round, usually what I'm doing is like hitting some tactics or something, sitting at the desk in the hotel room, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually rocking out to some like punk rock or like emo rock or just something like really energetic. Just kind of no-brainer music. So usually it's whatever earworm like I listened to the previous night, despite my best efforts.
I had you as Enter Sandman. I have guesses on these, by the way, for you.
Okay. Okay. Damn. Enter
Check.
Sandman would be too cool. Like that's Mariano Rivera's song.
I know, All right. So, what loss or draw that plagues you the most?
Oh my God. These are like real questions.
Well, these are the dumb questions. I've got real
Oh,
questions too. Don't
that's
worry.
so funny. I'm gonna turn this one around to you as well, but let me think. So I've had like I've had dumb losses that are dumb because the game was terrible. Like I made a really bad mistake, and like the
Hmm.
mistake itself was truly bad. But I've had losses that were like not as bad, but they affected a tournament in a
Oh.
really negative way. So
Hmm.
for me, it would be, I think it was round like it was round seven in a double round robin, like massive 2 month tournament. I think it was like a 16 rounder or something like that, or
Wow.
14 rounds. I had started the tournament 6-0, which was awesome. I beat two of the top rated players. And then in round seven, I lost to somebody who was kind of middle of the pack. And that loss was not only like very like unfortunate,
Hmm.
but it also kind of started this kind of spiral where I never actually like got a grip again for the rest of the tournament. I ended up coming in second in the tournament despite having a 6-0 start. So that was the most crushing loss that I can think of for
I
sure.
could see that. That would be painful.
What about you? Do you have something that stands out?
So the doctor will be pleased to know that it's a game versus him. So
Okay, perfect.
nothing makes him happier than driving me absolutely batty. So a couple months back, I was trying to figure out. I was. I don't know if you've ever heard about this with a chess player, but I was more concerned about what I was doing than what they were doing. It's weird. I know.
Yeah.
Who'd have
Yeah.
thunk it? So I had this little checklist, and I'd be like, I cannot make a move until I do this, and make sure that make see everything. So it's one of those games, and for some reason, I'm one of those chess players that I'm usually last game to finish
Yeah.
because
Me too.
they're never easy. They're just like slugfests, and
Me
you
too.
just sit there and it's war of attrition. So we're playing. I think it's like move 54 or something, ridiculous. And he makes a move, and I'm sitting there going, he's going for a check. It's late in the game. He's going for a check or a checkmate, and I'm like, it doesn't work. So I sit there and I go, bink, 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 bink. In my head, I'm not even. This is my post arrow phase of my career. And I'm like, that doesn't work. Well, let me just check. What if he does it in the other order? Well, that doesn't work. Okay, we're good. It doesn't work. So then I'm like, I've looked at what you're doing. Everything's fine. I got this covered. I make my move to go on the offense because I'd rather play offense than defense. And he checkmate me. I missed one thing, just
Yeah.
one little thing. And the thing was, I don't go slow. I tend to go fast. So I'm trying to slow down. I
Yeah.
spent like 4 or 5 minutes. He's sitting there. We talked afterwards. He's like, I knew you saw it. I knew you saw what I was doing, and I knew it wasn't going to work. And then all of a sudden you did this move. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And
Yeah.
blink, done. I miss resources.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know how, but I do. And it's something that's not like the book on how to not miss resources does not
Right.
exist. So
Doesn't exist.
it's
Right.
kind of one of those things like I'm trying to piece it together, but
Mm.
like
Piece
usually
it
if
together. That's a good chess pun.
yeah, it could be. Usually if I do something wrong, it's really wrong. Like it's
Yeah.
not like a little mistake, but
Yeah.
if I don't do something like, game ending or, soon to be game ending, I'm usually good. I usually play like good move, good move, good move. Not the best move, good move. Best move, best move, good move, good move, good move. If I'm playing well, like I don't know if the accuracy thing on chess.com or Lead Chess matters. I'm usually like 80s to 90s. Sometimes if it's a quick game, it'll be in the higher 90s. Sometimes
Hmm.
but if it's a bad game, it's like 50.
Hmm.
Just like,
Yeah.
you
It's
played
fun.
at a 400 level. Oh, great.
It's so funny because that's how I would have described myself when I was starting too. It's like my mistakes were so egregious, nothing infuriated me more. It
Yes.
was like I thought I was playing a good game. I
Yep.
thought I had
This
everything
game's
under
locked up.
control. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like I'm down a rook with check and my king is being chased around out of the clear blue sky.
No,
Like just nothing worse than that.
no.
I know your pain.
Yeah. So there's hope for me.
Yeah, certainly.
Oh,
I would say certainly.
I'm beginning to lose things. Okay.
Stick with me, kid.
All right. Well, we may have to do that some more. Okay. Well, let's talk about your game a little bit. This is a transition from the absolutely stupid,
Sure.
insane games to insane questions to the. You said before we started, well, we were recording, but it's going to be edited off.
Yeah.
You said you were about to get back into playing
Mm.
and perhaps playing in a tournament soon, maybe this summer. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, what area or areas of the game are you working on, and how are you doing it, and how will you know that what you did worked or that you got better at it?
Mm. Yeah. So uh I'll try to go in order.
That's all right. I'll forget the order. That's fine.
Yeah, me too. I'll just start talking.
I just
Um
read it. That's fine.
so at the moment I'm kind of like reintroducing myself to the love of just spending time with it. So it's kind of like you see an old childhood friend that you haven't seen for a while, and you're just catching up. So for me, I'm in like the catching up phase. So what I'm doing is
Do you
I
need
am.
victories? You can play May. I mean,
I'm not playing yet. I'm not
oh,
like playing actual games. I'm
Some would say that
looking.
about me too. So,
I'm looking at a lot of games. Like I'm reading those annotated games that I was telling you about right now.
hmm
It's Morphe. It's just like just give me some spice and some intrigue. I'm doing kind of like a review of what my opening repertoire is, like what I intend to play to start each game. Um, and then I'm doing just a little bit of tactics, which is going to like ramp up pretty strong and become probably the main focus of what I'm doing. Um, so kind of in that order, that's where I'm at right now. And it'll kind of seesaw the other way, where eventually it's going to be like 80% of my time, not 80, but let's say 50% of my time on tactics, like 10 or 15 on openings, and then the rest on end games. And then I think I'll be feeling like pretty well-rounded. Um, how will I know I get better at them? So I like the learningchess tool, the puzzles trainer, tactics trainer, whatever they call it,
hmm
because they have like a rating associated with your, what you're able to do. So
hmm
you can visually watch your number go up or down. I think that's like the only good way to like measure it, aside from if you want to be like, okay. I'll measure success just by like having a routine. So like if I work on my chess every day this week, then that's success. So for me, it works kind of both ways. Like I like to get in a routine. I like to track my hours that I work actually, just so that I like it doesn't become brainless.
Yeah.
Um, and then I like seeing the number go up, frankly, on the site. So that works for
Okay.
me.
All right. All right. So that's a decent transition towards a real question. So
Great.
one of the things that we've got questions about was for some reason listeners have written in saying what openings do you play, like the doctor and I would be a resource to choose
That's
from,
yeah, yeah.
vastly overestimating our value to the chess world, but just a pros.
Yeah.
So I think the last time we talked, I was talking about how I was just totally uncomfortable with just developing moves and getting the king to the safety and centered control, and I was just getting blown up in certain instances and falling into
Yeah.
tactical patterns or gambits or just brutalized. So I decided I was going to take some time off and do an opening study, just a little, just
Awesome.
not a book,
Yeah.
a pamphlet, just a
Perfect.
little short one, little 5 page, five
Love
moves,
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe 10 for
That's
certain
great.
lines.
I love it.
Okay. So did that work? I'd like to report back to you. Things have gone much better. Life is
Wouldn't you
good.
know?
Well,
Hey.
who knew? Knowing how to play chess is helpful. However,
Uh-huh.
then I did some more work because if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. Words to live by the way. And I think I did it wrong.
Okay.
So I was doing some game reviews with some people, and one of the persons is a vastly more than a DCP.
Okay.
Actually, he's probably higher rated than you because he's a IM working on GM. So
Definitely higher rated than me.
dude can play, right?
Yeah.
So we're going through it, and I realize this. I did this with a couple of them, so I'm not giving away who it is, so nobody can guess at home. And it's not who you think it is. It's who you don't think it is.
Okay.
Um, I knew the opening better than they did,
Hmm.
which I shouldn't. Like, I'm literally less than a third of the elo of this person,
Yeah.
and it's not a linear scale as we discussed last time.
Right.
It's like, linearly, I'm a third. Really, I'm like a tenth, maybe
Yeah.
something. There's no way I should have known that. There's no way I should know that opening, which is fairly common opening. There's no way I should know that better than he does, like moves deeper. So I apparently overdid it. And then I started thinking, hey, if you've overdone it, shocking. I know, given my personality, that I overdo things. Then I started looking at like how to do an opening or how to develop an opening repertoire because we keep getting these questions. So I thought, let's stop me trying to figure it out and let's cut to the answers from at least your perspective.
Mm.
If you were to work with a student who's terrible, let's say codename Bill, right? For instance, and you were to say, we're going to work with you on an opening how would you go about choosing the opening and developing a repertoire and then organizing the opening itself? Because I know what I did, and then I saw what somebody else did, and it's exactly opposite of what I did. And I think my way is much more complicated, to the surprise of no one. So, with that, the longest question in the history of our podcast, it's yours.
Yeah. Uh, the first thing to say is there's no, I'm not surprised whatsoever that you knew about an opening line better than a strong player. It happens all the time.
I was
Uh,
shocked.
yeah, I was shocked the first time it occurred to me that I knew an opening better than my opponent too. Um, I'm going to guess that this IM going for GM uh did would have not like if you were competing against them, they wouldn't have made maybe the best move, but they also wouldn't have made the worst move and like lost the game out of the opening too.
Like a good enough move, not
Yeah,
maybe
good enough. It's not like the best line. It's not like the most testing. It's not the most critical, but it's like a move that's fine.
no trouble.
And yeah, and instead, if you want to do like a numerical value, instead of being like, let's say plus zero point 0.6 or something from white or plus zero point 0.8 if you want to be generous, then you're more like equal. Uh, and that player would be fine with that as long as it's a position that they felt comfortable with. So I think the
You
first
might
thing
lose
is
a fraction of a pawn, not a. It's not
eh,
like they're going to plop four pawns on your
they're not
table
going to
and say,
blunder a
"Here you go."
piece out of nowhere. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing is to understand like that it's good to know something about the opening. And if you like the opening, it's very good to know more than your opponent. In fact, if you want to say that it's like let's just pretend that my student Bill wanted to codename Bill wanted to
He's terrible.
become
I mean, he codename terrible. I mean, no, this is blowing up in my face.
um, if he wanted to like become an opening aficionado, like I would
Gotcha.
expect that he would know more than his opponent about the opening because he liked it more. So I expect that you would be like, oh, cool. What, like, I want to know everything there is to know. Um, so that all checks out for me. Nothing weird. I would say that when it comes to studying the opening, uh, I think like going for breadth instead of depth is
Hmm.
important at the start. So like having an answer to every one of your opponent's second moves, let's say, is
Hmm.
more important than knowing like the 10th or 11th move on this one specific line that you may never play in a real game.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's like the main, this is logical, this is logical, this is logical.
For
The
sure.
main line. I don't think I know anything past. I think there's one line of one of the openings I know to 11, just because it's one of those like, if they do this, then they're dead on
Uh-huh.
in 12th.
Yes.
It's like you just lit off the fuse, and it's just for me to go bink, bink,
You're right.
bink, checkmate, thank you.
Yeah. So you learned a refutation, which is perfect.
Well,
Like that's important too. And
I didn't know I did, but I guess I did. I mean,
yeah.
I guess Codename Bill did, but
Right. Codename Bill knew what they were doing. And those feel good. Those are like that's like practicing your big wind up where like,
hmm.
in the cartoons where the cartoon character's throwing his fist in a big circle and like
And the
doing the
ball circles like a Bugs Bunny. Yeah, I'm in.
exactly,
I'm in.
exactly. You knock them to the moon and it's
Hmm.
like, yeah, that felt good.
Yeah.
The reality is the stronger your opponent becomes, the less often
Oh yeah.
uh, down to like 0% that's ever going to happen.
Yep.
Um, so I think that's the first thing to understand is like being good at the opening will only get you so far. And I think that's probably why many people encourage against it, against spending too much time learning it, because you can get really great at the opening and then still you have to play chess at some point. You're
Well,
not going to
that's the whole reason I wanted to get an opening, was because well, I didn't want to win in the opening.
right.
I wanted to get to the middle game plus or minus equals 100% of the time was my goal.
Perfect.
And if I won in the opening, fortuitous lucky bonus.
Yeah,
I mean,
great. Perfect. So then you have the perfect mentality about the opening. So then the next question is like, I don't think you're doing anything wrong.
okay. Well, no, I think I am. We'll get it. Look, I mean, we'll get
Okay.
into what this guy could be doing. You know,
Right. Codename Bill.
put name Bill. Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, I think once you get a sense of this opening and you've played it a bunch and you understand the lines, then you're just getting more comfortable with like the themes and the patterns and the structures and all this stuff that you'll eventually be seeing.
Hmm.
You can also steer the game towards things that you like and steer it away from things that you don't like and that sort of thing. And then your time should be spent understanding how to attack or how to defend an attack, understanding the basic tactics, getting really good, like having second nature about all these patterns that win material, like never allowing a simple tactic to be missed. Like we were talking about before, like making sure that you see all of your opponent's threats. Like these should be the new priority. And they go hand in hand with knowing an opening really well.
Okay.
But they don't get replaced by it for sure.
Okay. So, when well, let's do choosing first. So people ask, how do you choose? And they're like, well, you choose one that you like. Okay, that doesn't help if you don't know what's going on. They choose one
Right.
that fits your personality. Well, if you're beginning chess, you don't. I
Right.
mean, don't take this wrong, people. If you're just beginning chess, you probably don't have a chess personality yet, or you don't. You know what you want to be, like you want to
Hmm.
be Capablanca or you want to be Carlsen, but you may not be that. So I hate to ruin your bubble. So do you choose it by cities you like and birds and animals that you like or people's last names that you can't pronounce? I mean,
I think you should see a lot of chess first. And
mm,
it doesn't have to be grandmaster chess, but if like I came up watching Chess Network on YouTube, which is a channel that I strongly recommend for all levels, up until like National Master.
chess
Um,
network.
Chess
Okay.
Network. His name is Jerry. He is a national master, a self-taught national master. And he comments, like he commentates on tournaments. Like he'll shadow Magnus while he's playing 1 minute tournaments. He will play tournaments himself, but he has a really great and simplistic way of looking at the game and explaining the game. He also has like dedicated educational videos like learn how to do this or learn how to do that. He looks at games and he just explains them in a really great way. So I would certainly recommend just get into that channel or any of the other, 100 of chess channels that there are now. Um,
Especially late to chess.
yeah,
Right.
especially late to chess. Um, and just find just like enjoy chess and then start to be like, oh, I liked it when this happened, and then you remember, oh, I saw this opening before. I want to try it. It becomes like very much like mimicry.
Hmm.
uh, more than like you choosing it. And I don't think anybody should like up and choose something if they're a super beginner. You should definitely try things out that you've seen before. Um, World Cup is going on right now, so I'd be thinking about like if a young kid was playing soccer, watching Messi play on the TV, and he saw him do like a I don't know, a ball dribble in a specific way, he'd go out to the backyard and he'd try it.
Yeah.
And
It
he
wouldn't go
would,
well, but that's
yeah, it
fine.
wouldn't go well, but that's the point.
Yeah.
It wouldn't go well. The first time I played the Catalan, it didn't go well either. But I played different openings in tournaments for a really long time until I was like, okay, I think I have an idea of what I like and what I don't like. And only after like, a decade plus of tournaments have I been like, okay, I have a repertoire, quote unquote, that I'm
Hmm.
gonna like decide. Uh, and I can make adjustments, but it's like, okay, I just have an idea now.
Okay. So, so, so choosing it, you kind of mimic something that you like or something that appeals to you and then find out how it fits because sometimes you may like something and it doesn't work for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. So like I would just for example, maybe you pick up a book and you see a Capablanca game and you like go through the moves and you see that he won and you're like, wow, that was really cool. I want to try what he did.
Hmm.
And it's fresh in your mind. And let's say you start with D4 just like he did, and his opponent played d5 and you play c4 just like he did, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to play exactly the game that Capablanca just played. And then you play up until a certain point, and then you start to drift off into new territory. Um, but you try to like copy what he did,
Hmm.
and it probably won't work because if you're only thinking about that, like it won't get you very far, but it'll at least put you in like a realm where if your goal is to improve, you can start to look at the position and be like, okay, what would Capablanca have done if he was facing my opponent here? And then you can start to think about the position through those eyes, which to me is an easier way to learn than putting yourself in those
Hmm.
positions because you stink, not you, but
The
me,
code
code
name Bill.
name whoever, like you stink,
Yeah.
and Capablanca rules. So we just want to pretend like he's doing it all the time and kind of piggyback on that imaginary
Yeah.
person. So that's what I would be doing is like looking at a lot of chess first and then just try to mimic it. And again, like if you're looking at Capablanca, it's going to steer you in one direction. Maybe you really love that. If you're looking at Tal or Fischer, it's you're going to be doing something completely different. And maybe you
Mm.
really like that. And maybe maybe you like it, but but getting flying too close to the sun, you get burned one or two times and you're like, this really isn't for me. You'll know it very quickly.
Yeah.
That's what happened when I tried to play like Bobby Fischer.
Didn't work.
It didn't work. No, I had the best intentions. Let me tell you, I was all enthusiastic and just kind of flat on my face.
Well, I spelled his last name right. That's about it so far.
That's exactly. Yeah,
So
every one of your score sheets
every
looks
single one.
like Fischer.
It does. And if I say it fast, they think I'm Billy Fisher.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm just younger. Okay. So choose it through trial and error. And are there like well, all right. So I'm trying to ask this question like 14 different ways. So
Mm,
when you're starting out, some people say E4, some
mm,
people say D4,
mm.
some people say other things. Is there a way to guide someone who doesn't know any better? And it's they're all squares.
Yeah, exactly. I would look up, pick a player, and then look up 3 games of that player playing D4, and then look up 3 games of that player playing E4, and spend some time with it. Don't go through it like it's a blitz game.
Hmm.
Spend 10 or 15 minutes at least going through these games and like thinking about it. Just so you have some idea about like what you should be replicating, and then just dive in and see. Um, it's going to be like very specific. I don't think there's like one general answer that
Is there a
answers
stylistic difference between them?
between E4 and D4. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the general consensus is that E4 is quote unquote more aggressive because it offers a more open game,
Hmm.
um, where white is aggressively attacking the center, and their king is slightly more vulnerable. And D4 is considered a little more positional because the position that's opening up is the queen side, not the
Hmm.
king side. So the king is generally more, tucked away and safe in a queen's pawn opening than it is in a king's pawn opening. There are exceptions to everything. There are
Sure.
there are variations in D4 openings that are very dangerous, and there are variations in E4 openings which are very like quiet and tame. But that's like the general consensus. So you would say like if you want to play a slower game where your king is less safe, more safe, and you want to get a small advantage and squeeze the position and eventually win, you should play D4. If you want to be, light the board on fire and attack with all of your energy, you know, both of us are getting checkmated, but I'll checkmate you first, then you should try to play E4. But again, you could think you want E4 and then try it for a little while and change your mind, which is also really, really normal to do too. So
I can.
I don't know. It really depends. Frankly, like if I were working with a student on this, it would all have to do with like I would look at a position with them, I would look at their games, and we would just talk through the games, and I would be able to tell a lot about what their thought process was like. Like, are they thinking about attacking a lot? Are they thinking about king safety a lot? Are they thinking about pawn structure a lot? Are they development? Like, you start to like get the sense of what they want to talk about and think about, and then you can steer the suggestions towards that.
I can. I was originally I started out with a D4 to start with, and I started taking some lessons from a coach, and they suggested that I go to E4, and I can sum up my experience with E4 as I had one major problem with it: the Sicilian. It killed me, just crushed me, took my soul, just kicked my dog. It's just, oh my God.
Okay, and what did your coach have to say about your struggles
I
in the
kicked him to the
Sicilian?
curb. No, I'm
Okay.
just kidding. No, we never got into that.
Okay.
We stopped doing it after a few months because I had this crazy travel schedule coming up and I just haven't gotten back to it. But
Yeah, got it.
man, E4 was, and the other thing was I felt like E4 is my first move. I wasn't really choosing what the opening was, black was,
Mm,
because it,
sure.
it was like, well, they want to do this, so they do, or they want to do this, so they do, or they want to go this way, so they do. And
Yeah.
I was just like, it killed me. It was like,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be telling you what to do, and you're telling me what to do. And then not only are you telling me what to do, but now I've got to learn 15 different responses to all the things that you could do to me. Never mind
Yeah.
the absolutely crazy questions that they could pose to me with, like, why are you playing A4 or five? Sorry. And it's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? So E4 just, it didn't float my boat.
Yeah, and I get that. Especially the way you're talking about it, is very like defensive about it. An E4 player who's stronger than I am would say something like, "Well, E4 and they're screwed because like if it, what they'll think is like there's a best way to play against it, and if you don't do that, like everything is a concession. So like let's just pretend like they play the French defense. You're like, "Oh, I
I'm good
love playing
against
the
that one,
I'm
but
good against the French because you didn't do this, you didn't do that. So like I will take advantage of that. Or they play the like the Najdorf. You're like, "Oh, great. I love playing this attack against the Najdorf. They've learned some weapon that they can employ." And then it's like, okay, black is actually the one on the back foot on all these openings, despite, yeah, Sicilian is very, very strong, very robust. Like you're not going to poke a hole in the Sicilian.
and then it's not like it's just one opening. There's like 5,000s of these bad boys.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
Such a small island with so many chess players. Who knows?
It's true. Um, but then you start to like you group them together. So like you could think of the black defenses as being like dark square defenses or light square defenses. So the Caro-Kann and the French have a lot in common. They both focus on putting pawns on the light squares.
Right.
And then Sicilian and E4, E5 also have something in common. They're dark square defenses. So different, like certain pieces become stronger in these openings, certain dynamics, like the D4 square, the space, like you can kind of start to narrow it down if you like really got into it. But I understand. When I played E4 in tournaments, I wasn't happy with it. Not because I felt like they were steering the game, but because I'm not as energetic as an attacker as I need to be. I learned,
Mm,
in my post game analysis. So I was like, okay, like if I need to be so vicious, like that's just not my personality. I'd rather win a different way.
yeah.
So I changed.
Okay. All right. So if you're talking about the next part is once you've chosen your opening is then developing a repertoire. Now,
Hmm.
let's talk like DCP and down. When
Yep.
when we're not grandmasters, both of us added up almost are a good grandmaster, maybe probably a pretty good grandmaster because
Pretty good.
you've done most of the work. I'm just the icing or sprinkles. I don't know. I don't even think I'm icing. Um, I think their repertoire is a totally different concept than what your repertoire is, and mine is a totally, totally, totally different concept than what yours
Yeah.
is, and not even I'm not even related to them. So like if I look at Chessable for a lifetime repertoire for
Stay
oh
away.
boy, I got a few.
Stay away.
I got a few. They're in this folder. I made a folder. It says uh what too complicated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, those are tomes, man.
Yeah, I'm like sitting here going,
You
that's a nice dictionary to put on my
Yeah,
desk, but
exactly.
I don't know.
Uh, I do not recommend trying to take on something like that. Like they're great in theory. It's another chess pun I didn't mean to make. They're great in theory, but in practical, like you're a person with a life and a job and a family.
Yeah,
No reason. There's really no reason to try. If you have 1 hour a day on chess consistently, your hour is better spent, mostly doing something else.
yeah. But when people say that they're putting together a repertoire, are they saying they have one opening for white and two for black, or what are?
Yeah, I think one and one. It's like so. I guess like it's one opening with white. Period. It's just like this is my opening.
And just play it.
And I play it. And then I'm going to learn either what to do to be a little bit better if I want to be ambitious, or I learn what to do to not die right away. So like you could learn the London in 15 minutes
Hmm.
and you have a white repertoire that basically you can't lose quickly.
Right.
You have to learn like one or two tricks with like black really going aggressive to try to kill you, but like once you learn them, you're in the clear, and you'll never lose with white early. And then you can just play chess. And so that's like I strongly recommend to somebody who has time constraints. And then with
So,
black, oh,
so
go ahead.
when I did white, I did Scotch, right?
Right.
And then I would go to play Scotch, and they would play C5, and
Yeah.
then the Scotch isn't
Yes.
very good. Then
As you learned the
I tried doing it
Scotch,
a few times. It went really bad.
the Scotch is great, but it's a sub variation of what can happen after move one.
Yeah.
So like on
So I
move
made it all the
one,
way to move one.
you've made it half apply. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yay.
So you play e4, and then black can play c6, c5, d6, d5, e6, e5, f5. They could play a weird move like a6 or h3. So like Scotch is great, but it's only great after e4, e5, knight f3, knight
I
c6.
know it'd be nice if they
Scotch.
just, if they just played with
If
me,
they
I
just
could,
agreed, yeah.
God,
Well, try to slip them a 50 next time
I
before the
know.
game
I see.
starts,
I
and
made these dice. I don't know if you heard about these dice. I've got these dice where you have a white die and a black die, and you roll it, and it tells you what your first move has to be.
it sounds fun. I'd love to play that.
Well,
Sounds great.
it's a way. I'm bringing it to the family. We're having a family vacation, so they aren't really chess players. So I'm using it as a handicap. They can do anything they want, and I have to play whatever the dice says.
Love it. That's great.
So I, don't
I would love to do that. I might steal that from
I might have some dice for you coming your way.
you. Awesome.
So, okay, so you got your one, you're going to play, and literally you mean one opening for white. Like
Right.
that's it. That's your
This
one
is
opening.
what I do. Exactly.
And don't vary it until much, much, much further down the road.
Yeah, I mean, again, are we talking about somebody who's just learning or somebody who wants to have a repertoire?
Well,
Um,
I think as somebody who's learning but eventually wants to have a repertoire, I think the to me the value would be get out of the opening phase, get to the middle game where you're playing chess. And
yeah,
if you can do that with one opening and then diversify later,
one
go for
opening.
it.
Yep, one opening.
Okay.
If your goal is to play chess and not die quickly, learn one opening. You'll have more fun. You'll enjoy it more.
Okay. So far it's working. So, and
Great.
then on black side, you got to have an opening response at least for E4 and one for D4, right?
Exactly. And I would even argue that you don't need to go beyond that. Because I would say whatever you do against D4
Hmm.
should basically be what you do against anything else anyway.
So E4 and then other.
And then other, exactly.
Okay.
So like C4 and D4 have a lot in common.
Hmm.
So, for example, if you like to play the Queen's Gambit with black, you can set up the same structure from the black side, and it's really fine. It's good.
Okay.
There are some differences, like if white never takes the full center, you need to know like, okay, what do I do or what do I don't do? But I would say one against E4, one against everything else.
Everything else. Okay.
So you have three kind of main branches of your openings. Yeah.
So one thing that I did learn, we talked about the lifetime repertoire on chessables, which are fantastic.
Yeah.
Way over my head.
Yeah.
Um, if I were to give a tip, and I wanted your comment on it,
Mm.
if I were to give a tip to anybody who's, you know, under 1500, our non DCP players, our DCP wannabes, in DCP in training, whatever you want to call
Yes.
it, when the opening says beginner, that's good. When the opening says intermediate, that's bad. Don't do
Definitely.
that one. You're not ready. It's
Definitely.
what the chess grandmaster thinks is an intermediate opening is not an intermediate opening.
100% agree. And I would even go from like a different angle. I think, first of all, fundamentally, you're right. But also, I think as a sales pitch, nobody wants to admit that they're a beginner.
No.
So there's this huge batch of beginners who want to call themselves intermediate.
Yeah.
So they get the more expensive thing, they get the harder thing,
Yep.
whatever. Like they get the more expensive golf club because they're
Yep.
like, no, I'm an intermediate. I've been playing for 4 months
Yeah.
already. It's like,
Yeah,
dude, you're a
I've got my
beginner.
square groove, non-perimeter weighted
Yeah,
blades. Yeah,
like
good
come
luck with
on.
that.
Just admit it. You're a
Just walk to
beginner.
the right, buddy. Just walk to the right.
Exactly. Exactly. So you're a beginner, and it's fine. In fact, it's better if you can admit you're a quote unquote beginner. And in fact, I think there are a lot of intermediate players who should be learning the beginner repertoires anyway,
Hmm.
because it's not going to fill up your time
Nope.
trying to memorize it and then review it and then like all this rigmarole to get it down. Instead, you could be learning tactics, you could be like looking at games, and that stuff is going to help so much more anyway.
Yeah. Uh,
So like getting something solid that says beginner is like I would absolutely recommend that. Yeah.
so words that you want to look at. Short and sweet,
Short and sweet's good.
lovely. The 100 move repertoire sets,
I haven't seen
perfect.
those, but it sounds great.
Perfect. They have 100 moves. All the lines added up.
Perfect.
100-ish. Done.
That's great. Yeah, exactly. It gets
Yeah.
you started. That's what you need. You just need to get a start
Okay.
off the starting block. Yeah.
All right. So here's where I'm at. I mean, the codename Bill. Um, I took these things. I put them together. I used something called Chessbook. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's kind of a, from what I understand, I've never used, what's the chess software that everybody,
Chess base.
Chessbase. It's kind of an online version of Chessbase. A
Okay.
little different, I think. Not as complicated, not as deep. I'm sure it doesn't have all the everything. And I said, okay, so I made a 1E4 repertoire and I made a 1D4 repertoire. And then I made uh, versus 1E4 for black and versus 1D4 and versus other. I made three. So it's
Okay.
really whatever. But then I started looking at them and they just started because I got like the club repertoire for uh, 1E4 and the club repertoire versus 1E4. And I started putting them in then as separate. And those are really long. Club player. I'm not a club player apparently because
I
wow.
think club player is like DCP and up,
Yeah.
I think.
Man, and the complications in those courses were just like, okay, against 1E4, I needed to know like 14 different openings.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah,
who's this Philidor guy? But anyway, I don't remember if that was the white one or the black one, but they were the great courses, just too much for me. So then
for
I
sure.
said, let's go find some of these short ones or a specific opening. And then I looked at, uh, let's just see what pick one that I did. King's Indian.
Mhm.
So I did King's Indian. And then I had King's Indian as black. Let's just do that one because that's the one I know the best. It had King's Indian versus 1D4, King's Indian versus 1E4, and King's Indian versus everything else. So I just made three really long, complicated lines that just
Mm.
kept splitting and treeing and started out as a tree, became a plant, then got to be a bush, then got to
Yeah.
be a huge field of grass.
Right.
Huge, like
Right.
millions of blades of grass wide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or should I have done a single line for like the first couple moves that split less and keep them that way?
I would make three separate files in this case, one with white and then two with black. So black King's Indian against e4 is super different than King's Indian against d4.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I would be thinking of those as like different universes, even though
Hmm.
they have the same name. Like you almost want to give them a different name so you don't accidentally confuse the fact
Yeah, I
that
was
they're
going
so
to say
different.
Queen's Indian, but that's
Yeah,
something
that's a
else.
different, exactly. That's a different,
Who
exactly.
knew?
No, you could call it the Bills Indian or
Yeah,
something.
only if it
Um,
loses.
um, but yeah, I would keep those things separate because the nature of the game is going to be so tremendously different.
Right.
There's a If you take them as Venn diagrams, there is some crossover and there's like a lot of opportunity for them to bleed into one another, but then it's easy because it's like, oh, well, this transposes into this, or
Yes.
like this,
Sometimes.
I've seen this position before.
Yeah.
So you don't need to go too far into two sections. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
because
would,
if you let them get E4 and D4, then they
yeah.
cross. Yeah.
And then I would think like first of all, like I love mathematics and stuff. So having a mathematical thought process is really what I'm drawn to. So in this case, I'm calling it that when it's like a tree of nodes and it's just like branching out, and I like it
Or just a
just in its
bajillion if then statements, right?
yeah, exactly. And that's like cool and it's pure.
It's hard
But
to
then
memorize, though.
it's really hard to memorize. Uh, it's also like, yeah, it's not very practical. Because if you want to memorize it, you need to do something else anyway, so you may as well start differently. So the recommendation I would have is to break it up not into lines, but into concepts. So for
Hmm.
example, white achieves a pawn on e5.
Right.
Okay, now I know what to like. There's a whole lot of situations where that's going to happen, and I need to have an idea of what I'm doing against that. White tries to trade off my bishop, my dark squared bishop.
Hmm.
Okay, there's a lot of ways for white to do that, and there's a lot of times for him to do that. But I'm going to try to figure out like what do I do in that case.
Right.
White tries to open the center. White tries to close the center. So like I would start to categorize them that way, which is like very anti my mathematical mind because
Yeah.
it's kind of like conceptual and like personal. It's like a way things feel. But it comes in handy more if you start to get used to things like with words rather than just like branches and, like you
Right.
said,
Right.
trees and grass and like
It just starts splitting because I
it's
had this
impossible.
delusion. I don't know if we talked about it last time. I think we did. I had this little sticker printer,
Hmm.
and I was going to have all the little like the snippets of like white move, black move, take a picture and start
Okay.
printing the stickers and then to start treeing them out. And then I started looking at, oh, that's a big poster. That's a really big poster.
I don't want to even imagine what that looked like.
It was ugly. So then I started going, oh, man, this is terrible. So okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how one way to do it. So what I did was kind of similar to that in that I kind of looked at like let's just say nominally five moves deep.
Hmm.
And then the key that made this stick to me was then I did more study looking for what the middle game plans for my side and for black side were, and maybe goals and common responses and traps.
Yeah.
And I did those not as memorized lines, but more as like if you're a computer, like a little subroutine off to the side, like, hey, I want to play bishop g4, or I want to play c5, or I want to play e5 as my
Hmm.
my typical, whacks against that, and trying to philosophically, I want to get rid of their center pawns and take them with my flank pawns or something like that, or make a pawn breaker, things like that, and then kind of have mini goals or
Yeah.
multiple mini goals that depending on what they're doing, because I don't know why they move every time. It's ridiculous. Why not just let me play? But just different weapons to use against whatever they're trying to do. And sometimes they come up with new and improved things. And then what I would try to do was when they came up with something new, I would try to add one theoretical response and have
Hmm.
the opening, my opening repertoire, let's call that as a word,
Hmm.
grow by one step each time. And I found that the way for me to memorize it, because I went looking at memory palaces and all kinds of memorization principles and, overdoing, surprise, surprise. Um,
But fun in the process of overdoing it.
Sometimes, yeah,
Yeah.
I've wasted many hours.
Yeah,
And I think, and everybody takes this wrong when I say it, sometimes you need the pain to memorize.
I
And I don't,
agree.
and there's nothing more painful than losing to the doctor. So the more I play him, the more holes I plug. And hopefully I plug it one time, not seven times. But you know what I mean?
I do. I just caution you because it is in theory, again, like if you had a perfect memory, I would
I don't
believe
like to
in
brag
this.
though.
I would believe in this method. I would say that it's going to take a long time to like nail it, but it will work. The trouble is that I don't have a perfect memory. You don't have a perfect memory. The doctor doesn't have a perfect memory. Magnus
He
is
does
close
against
to
me though,
perfect.
the bastard.
Okay, he does. Well, I just know that a tree that size, the size you're describing, is so impossible to memorize.
You think so?
It's that it's like there has to be a better way. And like I definitely feel your pain. I've been in your shoes before. We're like wanting to have this like kind of bulletproof repertoire. When I first started chess, and I'll even say this was like pre-starting chess. My method was to play against Stockfish
Yep.
until I made a blunder and then learn what that move should have been and then start over.
Yeah, that's kind of similar.
Yeah, it's totally similar. Let me tell you, it doesn't work.
No?
You're not gonna get really far.
No?
Um,
Is that what this
one,
aneurysm feeling I get is?
yes, exactly. Yeah, you know the clenching that you have 24 hours a day
Uh-huh.
in every
Uh-huh.
piece of your body. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably why.
Okay. Yeah, I thought this
Um,
vein was getting a little large here.
yeah, exactly. The throbbing
Yeah.
purple one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Um, what I like to do, and I do this all the time, like I catch myself. First of all, I talk to myself like a crazy person,
That's
very
why we have a
often.
podcast. We just talk
Yeah,
to and other people get the listens.
exactly. But I'll do this, and my wife will overhear from the other room. She'll be like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing chess puzzles." But I'll start to talk about not the move, and this is if I get something wrong, especially, but it's like, what did I miss? Because the move is irrelevant. It's something about the idea that I missed. So instead of associating the move with like a notation, you associate it with an idea that you try to put to words and you try to explain. I do that all the time. When I look at the opening, it's a perfect time because the opening principles are so simple that if you went through your opening repertoire or watched a professional game or watched a casual game of two people, and instead of trying to be like, oh, I'm memorizing these moves, just put words to every move. So white, okay, white occupied the center. Black, black occupied the center. White developed a piece and attacked an unprotected pawn. Black developed a piece and protected an unprotected pawn. Um, you'll start to notice the themes of those things that you're saying. You'll be like, "Oh wow, I said developed a piece 10 times in a row. That's really interesting." And then it'll start to be more ingrained. Or like for me, what one thing that I'm trying to work on really hard is rook end games. They're tough. They are really
Or,
impossible to memorize.
or
Like there's
witchcraft.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And if you try to memorize them, you just should do something else with your life because they're too
That's what this other vein
that's
is.
the other vein,
Yeah.
exactly. So when you're learning them, you have to try to ingrain these concepts. So it's like rook activity. The past three problems I've gotten wrong are because I have not made my rook active. So then I'm training myself. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna look for is can I make my rook more active? And it's like, damn, that solves so many problems. Okay, cool. Then I'll make another mistake. It's like, oh damn, I allowed a passed pawn on the H file with their rook behind it. Okay, I can't allow a passed pawn with their rook behind it. So then it's like, okay, that's something to avoid. Now here's something to get. Again, it's not about the moves themselves, but it's like, what are these concepts?
Hmm.
And I think openings are the easiest because we've all learned like develop your pieces, control the center, bring your king to safety. Um, that's pretty good. You'll notice the themes of the openings that you're learning. They're very rarely are they going outside of that mold, and when they are, it's like for like a very specific reason.
Yeah.
Um, and then for me, I find those reasons interesting, so like I'll spend time looking at them and trying
Right.
to answer those questions too. But I don't know. I don't know what I just answered or what I talked about, but I hope it was interesting.
It sounds like a podcast. So, what about using, because we talked earlier on the earlier episode you were in, and we talked about like hard work and like soft work. And
Hmm.
I don't count the soft work, but I have this, the first step is to admit you have a problem. I have this problem in that I watch speed runs over and over and over as ways to learn different ways to deal with, especially if they have the opening that I'm looking at or thinking about.
Uh-huh.
There's certain speed runs where like a grandmaster or a more DCP than I will probably ever be, and they just sit there and play like game after game after game after game after game, and I sit there and I think I'm learning from it,
Yeah.
but I'm not counting it as studying. I'm counting it as an exercise.
Entertainment.
Yeah, is that a decent way?
I would never recommend it, only because here's why. You're not doing any thinking. So like
Listen,
you're
that's the way I live, man.
It's funny because when you brought up openings to begin with, I was thinking of how I was going to answer you and talk about openings. And the thing that came to mind was when I study too much opening theory,
Hmm.
what I find is that my chess starts to decline
Yep,
because I am stopping training my thinking process and I'm using only this memorization process.
the patterns. Yeah.
Exactly. So like if I even if I play the opening perfectly, there's a point at which I need to play chess. And if I don't have that muscle really worked strong, then it didn't matter that I had a great position. I'm going to blunder in two moves anyway, because
Yes.
like I'm just like, I don't want to think. I want to memorize.
Hmm.
Um, that's kind of how I feel here. I've never watched it, so I can't speak to like the entertainment value. I also can't speak to like if it's a Hikaru speedrun, like he trolls all the time. Like
Oh,
that's
man.
he's
He's got what he's calling his slow run.
okay.
So he actually like explains things and doesn't just do tick 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 tick
Hey,
tick 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 mate.
great.
So that one's not bad. There's a few speed runs I could recommend that you'll probably sit there and go, "You're an idiot."
I bet he's great. And I'll just throw Chess Network's hat in the ring here.
You mean the
Hikaru's
thing I just subscribed to about 20 minutes ago?
exactly.
Uh,
Hikaru's too good for
he,
us, for
he
both
is.
of us. It's
Yeah,
useless.
yeah,
He takes so many things for granted
I know.
that we don't take for granted. And if we were to tell him, like, Hikaru, why should I play this move? He's like, what? Like, what are
Why
you
not?
even, why are you asking that? Like, what a dumb question. But to us, it's like a real question.
Yeah.
There were many world champion cycles where I had a choice uh, between, oh God, so it was Magnus Vichy playing their first one, and who was commentating? It was like Lawrence Trent, I am, and somebody else. They were like
Hammer.
all these like high octane commentators
Right.
who were much stronger players, like grandmasters, super grandmasters. They were like world class. But I chose to watch Chess Network because, and I would flip back and forth sometimes. Chess Network would be confused about things that I was confused about, and he would work these things out. And sometimes he'd be wrong, but it would be so much closer to the planet Earth that I lived on
Yeah.
than watching these super grandmasters that I just can't follow. So anyway, if you're gonna watch somebody play and take it as like half entertainment, half soft work, make it Chess Network. Watch one of his like either 5 minute tournaments or one of his rapid games. Like he's so damn good at explaining things at a
Hmm.
level that just makes sense. He does nothing that is over your head, I promise you. Like
My head's pretty low,
DCP
man.
below. No, I'm telling you, trust me.
Okay. All right.
Below DCP, above DCP, me at my level, like he is just spot on with so many of his things. I just highly recommend not only for the entertainment, but also for like the level because you can learn so much more from him than from Hikaru, who will play bad moves on purpose because he knows he's gonna win.
Yeah.
It's like that those speed runs are just more of like mocking the opponent, I find, from what little I've seen. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, it sounds like I've got somebody who may be competing for my Danya spot. We'll
I
see.
oh well, Danya, nobody can take his spot. But yes, I
Okay.
think if you're looking for new content, he's the guy. I actually don't know if he put something out very recently, but I go back to him very often.
Well, his latest one came out 3 hours ago, so
All right, so then that's the answer.
he's still rocking and rolling. So
Okay, all
I
right.
did my favorite Hikaru story. I'm watching one of his streams, and he's like, "Well, if you're like a beginning intermediate player, roughly 2,000." And I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh,
exactly. No, but
okay."
he does it for the clicks. He does it for the clicks. He's
I
just
was like,
totally all about it.
that 2,000's not a beginning intermediate player there, buddy.
Exactly. And
So
he knows that, but he's being a jerk on purpose.
so that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're starting to get later in the day, so let's go to one more semi-serious question, and then
Cool.
we'll end with the sandwich of silliness.
Brilliant.
When I'm doing M1s, mate and ones,
Yeah.
it's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, just
Nope,
yeah.
no problem. When I do mate and twos, it's like going to the dentist. I swear, does it get better? Like it could take me 15, 20 minutes for a mate and two. And I'm like, it's only one move. I can't find it.
Are you doing the Polgars?
Polgars, yeah.
Yeah. So Polgars are hard. You should know that. You should first of all give yourself a little slack. Those things
That's
are
this other vein. Like,
those things are designed to be like tricky. And I like the muscle that it forces you to exercise, but it's not like the end all be all muscle that you need to. So take it with a grain of salt. If you can't get them, they're supposed to be really annoying and hard. And at some point, this is just the way I feel, they like veer away from chess and they are more like chess puzzles, if that makes sense. Like
so they're not something I should eventually like. I'm thinking I should be able to memorize them like the mate and ones.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
I don't think so. No. You should be
So if you're not doing it, I've got time.
yeah. Yeah, no, I'll sit there for five minutes and be like, mate and two, huh? You're okay, like this is a weird position. Like, are you sure this is mate and two? Like, whatever.
Who
Um,
dropped these pieces on the board
yeah,
here?
exactly. Yeah, it's like these compositions are meant to be tricky. I would say once again, it's more about breadth of knowledge rather than depth. So
Okay.
instead of being like, okay, mate and one's got him, going for mate and twos, then mate and threes, then mate and fours, and then I'm gonna mate and fives. I'm gonna memorize all of them and be able to do the whole book. Instead of that, it's like make sure you can do every mate and one, then make sure you never miss a knight fork.
Yep.
Never miss a bishop skewer. Never miss a double attack. Never miss
Discovered
a
attacks.
discovered attack. Yeah, name your tactic and just like get really good at the simplest version of every one of them.
Yeah.
Number one, you'll gain confidence. Have you ever heard of the it's a chess method called the chess steps, STEPS?
Yes.
Okay, so I love the chess steps method.
So do you
Um,
do the thick book and then you do the little books, or do you just do the workbooks?
Uh, at this point, I just do the workbooks,
Okay.
but there was a time when I was doing the thick books first.
Okay.
It depends if you want a refresher on all the stuff. Um,
It may
but
be a first time, by the way. But anyway,
yeah, there's also software for steps one, two, and three, I think.
really?
Yeah, and
Like internet software or
like purchasable,
oh,
downloadable software. And no joke, I will sometimes return to like steps method three and not get 100%
wow.
because like I'm not focused right or something like and it always feels like I'm taking my vitamins. Those things are so damn good. Like I definitely recommend trying them out or getting back into them. There's just something about them. There's something wholesome. They're like the opposite of the Polgar puzzles, which feel anti-chess. The steps method feels like the most chess. Like I don't know how else to put it.
Okay. All right. We'll give that a run.
Yeah.
All
Now the
right.
software is old. Like don't expect 2026 software. That we're talking like 90s looking
DOS
software.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you'll be like, "Oh, okay, this has aged, but it's still very good and worth it."
Some of those websites are still pretty fun though.
Yeah, oh, for sure. For sure.
All right. So let's hit you do you talk to your chess pieces and do they talk to you?
Uh oh, I've only talked to my chess pieces when I'm really upset.
Okay.
So they don't usually talk back at that point. It's kind of too late. Like the any friendship that we had has already been
Okay.
broken.
All
That's
right.
funny question. I've heard this thing though where like people talk to their pieces and
I
like ask the
know.
questions. I get it. It's like it's if it works for you, cool.
Where do you want to go?
Yeah, I've never they've never talked back. So I guess it never stuck with me.
The one thing I don't get is like put your pieces on the squares where they belong. I'm
Yeah.
like, if I
Well,
knew that,
they would be there.
it would that's where they would be.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks. My wife just said it sounds like Happy Gilmore. So go to your
Yeah,
home.
that's right. Go home. Don't you want to go
Go
home?
home.
Uh,
Okay. All right. Favorite thing to order at a tournament?
ooh, like food wise?
Food, drink, whatever.
Oh my God. So when I'm playing a tournament, I take it really seriously. Like I'm tryharding. So I've never actually between round one and round last of a tournament, I've never drank alcohol. And I've never had greasy food. Like I've been so intentional all the time.
So you're a
Because if
bring your own food kind of guy,
I'm
or
when I can, I'm like get to the hotel. First of all, I'm like almost always getting a hotel room. I'll go to the grocery store first and I'll just bring bags back to my room. It's like jugs of water, it's like snacks, like nuts and granola, it's like bananas and yogurt. So like I'm trying to be so with it and then sometimes, like if I'm gonna be fancy, I'll get like a Subway sandwich, like
oh,
chicken
that's fancy.
teriyaki or something. Yeah, very rogue
Ooh,
and
you rebel, you.
yeah, exactly. But I during a tournament, I'm like so buttoned up because I wanna see me at my best, and I just don't want to waste it. I'll have drinks after the tournament. That's a different answer, I guess.
That's fine. That's fine. Um, who do you love to play, and who would you love to play that you haven't yet?
Oh man. Well, like shout out to the Newburyport Chess Club, who the club to which I belonged for like the better part of a decade, back in Mass. I miss playing with all those guys. It's really cool when you play the same people, week after week, and you're watching their games and you get to know them and you're duking it out. And so I would say like all of those people are my friends and definitely miss them now that I've moved. Um, Somebody that like I love playing people who are titled. So I've only ever played two international masters in my life, and I think like three or four national masters, so like very few. So I'd love to play a grandmaster sometime. I would definitely enjoy that. I'd love to play more international masters. I mean, anybody famous. If I know their name, I want to play them. Like that sounds like a blast. What's your answer to this?
Um,
And is this a dead or
never,
alive question,
never.
or is this
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
living? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Then Danya, probably.
Donnie, I know Donnie would be awesome.
Yeah, he would be the coolest.
That would be. I'm thinking about going to the tournament coming up next week
Hmm.
or a couple weeks, and the only problem is it's like 7 hours away, and we're in vacation, so I
Okay,
might
that's a
that
big problem. Yeah, that's
might not go over well at home. So we'll see.
yeah.
Who would I want to play? See, the people that I know are so far out of my league, like
Hmm.
I will never get matched up with them.
Hmm.
So it would be, I don't know. I don't know that there's anybody. I don't know. A bunch of dojo friends I haven't played. So,
Yeah,
people that I know that I haven't played yet. That'd be fun.
that's awesome. If you say
Sick of
me, we
playing a
can make it happen.
doctor. God.
Yeah, yeah. What if I let me ask you, who do you never want to play again ever?
Well, who do I never want to lose to? The doctor.
Okay, perfect. That's the only right answer, I think.
Someday we'll get there. So speaking of which, you're thinking about coming back, and you got a plan yet? You got a
I it's
potential plan? You
it's
got the
it's
planning your
I'm
plan?
planning the plan
Okay.
exactly. I had a plan a couple months back, and then frozen pipes and family moving in, and then my life got derailed. My chess plans at least. So I'm like kind of this is like a little bit of chess foreplay that I'm undergoing right now, and it's kind of cool. So I expect the summer is kind of like my kickoff, and hopefully by the fall I've already played something.
Nice. Well, we are semi-local to each other, and
Yeah.
if they're my problem is most of my close places, the lowest rated player is like 1700.
Hmm.
So that's kind of bad for me.
Yeah. Gotta find bigger tournaments for
So
sure.
I need to go somewhere. So if I'm afraid to go to New York, even though I think that the population would be bigger. I just think that they're a bunch of trained killers and probably even worse. So
No, no, there's a section for you, and I would love to be there for you and be a part of it. That
sounds like
sounds
we have the planning of a plan.
we have I love that's my favorite type of plan.
That's right. They never fall through because we're still planning.
Exactly. Yeah.
The only problem is, you know what happens when I go to New York?
Hmm.
I go to Fred Wilson's bookshop,
Yeah.
and then I can't carry all of them out, and I
Yeah.
have to walk around the city with like 50 pounds of books.
Yeah. That's a problem. Yeah.
God,
You have
terrible.
to yeah, you have to have a plan. You have to plan
I
about how
know.
many books to take home that day.
Would it be weird to have like a wheelbarrow or a
That's let me when you start talking about a bookshop, the first thing I thought was a wheelbarrow. Like
thank you.
let's normalize wheelbarrows in
I
New York City.
know.
I
What could
actually
go
don't
wrong walking around the streets of New York with a
exactly,
wheelbarrow?
especially right now during World Cup. Like it should
No
be
problem. Should be
fine.
fine. Should be fine. I got stuck in traffic on Thursday. I got stuck in World Cup traffic on Thursday. The
Dang.
game was Monday. I'm like, guys,
That's yeah.
we got time. Why is there traffic for a game that's 3 days from now?
That's amazing.
That's some hardcore partying back
It is
tailgating.
hardcore. Yeah, they're not coming to New York for World Cup to have a light, like relaxing holiday. They're
No,
going
no,
hard.
no. I mean, and Vicky, my beautiful bride, she was telling me a story. So, I've been busy, and she's like, Boston ran out of beer for the
Yeah,
World Cup,
I know. I heard they tipped well though.
and Boston's not light on
They're
beer.
not
I
light
mean,
on beer, but
you know,
hey, they weren't ready, I guess.
that's a congratulations whether you win the game or not.
Yes, exactly.
But so anyway, all right. Well, to the surprise of no one. And to the disappointment of many, I have more dumb questions. So guess what? You're going to have to come back.
I already say yes well in advance. Let's plan it.
Very well. We'll do that. We're planning the plan. Oh, you know what we could do? We could do the tournament in New York and a live episode.
And a live episode.
I could give you your dice in person.
During that's let's do it. I can't say no to that. Come on.
You know what I'm
Uh,
thinking? I think I could beat you if you had to like do the move on the dice for like the first three moves.
Well, if you could do whatever you want, then yes.
Yeah, I think I got a chance.
Probably,
I think I got a
probably.
chance. Even I could win that one. But you just sitting there going, why do I got to go to E5?
What? Yeah, I'm
Why
just
do I
gonna
have to
think,
do knight F3 now?
why did I agree to this? That's
Why am
all
I
I'm gonna be
doing,
thinking.
why am I doing E4 and C4 with knight F3 in the middle?
Yeah.
This isn't
Bill
looking good for me.
Bill better be having fun.
I know.
Because I'm not.
No, that's okay. That's all right. I won't make you sign the scorecard
Uh,
twice.
yeah.
Just
I
once.
will sign it if it says Fisher, though.
Just one. Just one. Well, I'll give you the original, so. I'll even sign it Billy Fisher.
Yeah,
That
that's
way, if I
perfect.
do bad enough penmanship, they won't know any better. I'll just make
Exactly.
the eye a little wider than it looks.
Perfect. And I'll sell it for medium bucks.
That's right. While we're at Fred Wilson's bookstore.
Exactly.
Why is the ink still wet? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Listen, are you
Weirdest
buying
thing.
it or not? Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. I don't know. It must have been the bad batch of ink. I don't know. Sir, well, it sounds like we've got the beginnings of a plan.
It sounds like we do. Pleasure as always, and I'm sure we'll be hearing from each other soon.
Absolutely. I will bother you again.
Perfect.
Thanks,
Thanks,
sir.
Bill.
Bye.
Yeah. We show up after the clock, coffee gone, boards unlocked. You move your night, I move my mind. Late to chess, but right on time. Tell me what you saw before the queen fell hard. Every bad idea turns into a spark. Late to chess, we make a mess, then we make sense. Late to chess, one more game, one more defense. Late to chess. Back brain pressure, slipping fast. You swear that advantage can't last. We laugh when the opening snaps and drag your perfect plan right back. Say the line, take the shot. Who's the king and who forgot? Every blunder, every dare, we're already in the air. Late to chess, we make a mess, then we make sense. Late to chess, one more game, one more defense. Late to chess. Half-life hopes and checkmate dreams, broken hearts and clean-up schemes. When the room goes black and red, we still go 10 moves ahead. Late to chess, we make a mess, then we make sense. Late to chess, one more game, one more defense. Late to chess, before we rise, we love the stress. Late to chess.
I could just say
All
it.
right.
I'll just talk about whatever.
Let's see. Well, we could do album. No. I think we've done that one once or twice.
Yeah.
Maybe 12
Department
times.
of Defense. You could try.
No, let's just skip on that. So, all right, let me see what else I can do. I got some dumb questions over here. All right. You
Sweet.
want to start with dumb questions or end with dumb questions?
Oh, well, why not? Why not both?
That's it. I'll give you a dumb question sandwich. Very well. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
We'll blast out another one of these bad boys.